My dear child. Today, I draw near to your heart, not to burden you, but to lift you. I have seen your loyalty, your quiet prayers, the way you've chosen me over the noise of this world. You've opened your heart and placed me first, even when it cost you comfort, time, and strength. And now, listen carefully to this truth. You are not defenseless. No curse can touch you. No force of darkness can harm what I protect. When you walk in faith, you walk under my covering. I have wrapped you in the robe of righteousness, and my angels are positioned around your life like a heavenly army. You may have feared spiritual attack, spoken curses, or even subtle shadows creeping near, but hear me, you are safe in my presence. Do not be afraid of evil or the threats that rise against you. When the world whispers fear, I declare courage. When others speak defeat, I speak victory. I have erased your past, removed the stains of guilt and shame, and invited you into a life of peace and purpose. You were never meant to fight alone. I am your shield, your strength, your ever-present defender. Lift your eyes above the storms. Fix your gaze not on the chaos, but on me. I am the one who lights your path, even when the road winds and the shadows fall. No curse has power over what I have redeemed. I am preparing you for more. A new realm of supernatural living, where faith opens doors, where obedience brings blessing, and where my word becomes the compass that guides you through every season. You were born not just to survive, but to overcome. There will be moments when the world will call you foolish for trusting me. But remember, it is faith, not fear, that draws down heaven's favor. It is courage, not comfort, that births miracles. Embrace this truth and write it on the walls of your heart. With me, you lack nothing. With me, no evil shall prevail. I walk before you as your banner, your rock, your fortress. Let every doubt fall silent now, and let peace rise within you. This is the beginning of something new. Your victory is already unfolding. My beloved. Now that your heart is steady beneath the shelter of my promise, hear this. You were never created to live in fear, but to walk in authority. You are not fragile. You are not overlooked. Within you, I have placed a warrior spirit, resilient, bold, and radiant with heavenly purpose. Yes, the path ahead may challenge you, but it will not break you. I see the moments when you've questioned if you were truly chosen. You've wondered whether your weaknesses disqualify you. But I say to you now, you were made for such a time as this. You are not walking aimlessly. My hand has written your name into a divine blueprint, designed long before the foundations of the earth. Even when you feel weary, I am renewing your strength. Even when others call you inadequate, I call you mine. When you rise each morning, don't just open your eyes, open your spirit. For I am there, beside you. In that still breath before the day begins, my presence lingers like morning dew, refreshing and alive. I am your first thought, your quiet strength, your unfailing companion. You are not just a follower, you are my ambassador. The world may not understand your peace. They may not grasp why you still sing in the storm. But it is because you walk in step with me. While others chase fading glories and temporary applause, you are anchored in something eternal. Let this settle deep within your soul. You are covered by my blood, crowned with my favor, and filled with my spirit. Your family, your future, your calling, they are under my watchful care. No force can undo what I have declared. No lie can overwrite my truth. I speak life over you. I speak strength into your bones and clarity into your mind. You will not just survive, you will flourish. You will speak words that bring healing. You will walk paths that shift atmospheres. Because my breath lives within you. There is power in your stillness and there is glory in your perseverance. I see how you've held on to faith when everything else trembled. And because you've honored me, I will elevate you, not for your glory, but so others may see how I move through those who trust me deeply. Let this part of your journey remind you, you are not who the world says you are who I declare you to be. Victorious. Chosen. called, forgiven, loved. Now that your heart has begun to embrace the truth of who you are in me, I want to draw you even closer. There's something sacred I long for you to experience, not just my protection or provision, but the power of my voice. In the stillness, when distractions fade and your spirit leans in, I am speaking. Not through thunder or spectacle, but through the quiet whispers that echo in your soul. Every time you choose to sit with me, I breathe clarity into confusion, courage into doubt, and direction where there once was only uncertainty. My words are not like the fleeting opinions of man. They are life. They are eternal. They carry healing, peace, and purpose. Every time you receive them with faith, you allow me to sow something holy inside you, seeds that will bloom in their due season. I don't speak to impress. I speak to transform. The more you open your heart to my voice, the more you'll recognize how deeply I know you, every longing, every hidden ache, every unspoken dream. I'm not offering vague promises or empty affirmations. I am revealing real paths, divine strategies, heavenly wisdom. Not to overwhelm you, but to walk with you through the unknown. You've asked for signs. You've sought guidance. And today, I remind you, I have been guiding you all along. My spirit nudges gently when you drift, encourages boldly when you hesitate, and celebrates every step of faith you take. Even when you don't feel worthy, I still draw near. Even when your confidence falters, my truth remains unwavering. And here is that truth, I do not lie, and I do not change my mind. What I've spoken over your life, I will complete. You may not understand the full picture now, but trust that every word I give is part of a masterpiece. What feels delayed is often me preparing the soil so the harvest can be abundant and lasting. I'm not just interested in quick fixes. I'm cultivating endurance, wisdom, and unwavering faith. Let my voice be the first you seek in the morning and the last you hear at night. Let it drown out fear, lift the weight of sorrow, and ignite your spirit again. For you were made not only to hear me, but to walk in step with me. So, as your days unfold, listen with anticipation. Be ready to receive new revelations, fresh strength, and divine insight. I am building something beautiful through you, something that will outlast the storms and shine through the darkness. Now that your spirit has begun to rest in the sound of my voice, I want you to know something even more profound: you have never taken a step without me. From your first breath until this very moment, I've been beside you, not watching from afar, but walking through each chapter of your life with loving attentiveness. Even when your heart cried in silence, even when the world seemed deaf to your pain, I was there. My presence didn't waver when you stumbled, nor did my affection shrink when your faith felt small. You may have felt overlooked by others. You may have wandered through seasons where every prayer seemed to echo back empty. But today, hear this: I was holding you, even then. There has not been a moment, not even a heartbeat, where my love has loosened its grip on you. Sometimes the noise of life tries to drown out my nearness. Schedules, obligations, weariness, they clutter the soul. But here in the quiet, as you draw near, my presence wraps around you like a gentle embrace, restoring what was drained and softening what was hardened. I long to meet you not just in crisis, but in the ordinary. When you rise, I want to walk with you through the sunrise. When you work, I want to sit with you in the stillness between tasks. When the day winds down, I want to be the peace that carries you into rest. You don't need perfect words. You don't need to perform. Just come. Bring your joys and your fears, your hopes and your questions. I already know them all, and I delight in hearing them again, from your heart. This sacred rhythm of time with me, it becomes your sanctuary. A place of grounding in a world that constantly shifts. And as you spend those moments with me, your spirit begins to recognize that you are never truly alone. Not in the noise. Not in the silence. Not in the waiting. I am the friend who doesn't leave when the crowd disappears. The father who stays when the rest turn away. The comforter who hears even the prayers you're too weary to speak aloud. I want to make our connection the anchor of your life. Not a last resort, but your first refuge. My presence is more than a feeling. It's a fortress. A shelter where you are always welcome, always seen, always safe. So, in the moments you feel unseen, come sit with me. When the weight of the world presses on your chest, come and breathe with me. You don't have to carry this life by your own strength. I never asked you to. I simply ask you to walk with me. Now that your heart has come to rest in my presence, I want you to understand something that will carry you through every storm. Your weakness is not your failure, it is the place where my power rises. I never asked you to be invincible. I never demanded that you carry the weight of this journey alone. I've always known the cracks in your armor, the trembling hands, the nights filled with tears. And I've never turned away. Instead, I step closer in those moments. I step into your weakness not to expose it, but to fill it with my strength. When you reach the end of yourself, when you feel spent and unsure, that is where the miracle begins. Because it is there, in that sacred emptiness, that I pour out grace in its fullest measure. Not as a temporary fix, but as a sustaining force that will lift you through what you thought you could not face. I see the courage it takes to keep believing when the answers delay. I see how your hands still rise in worship, even when your heart feels heavy. I count every quiet yes you whisper through gritted teeth and tears. Those small, stubborn acts of faith, they move heaven. You don't need perfect strength. You need persistent trust. For I do not choose those who boast in their might. I choose those who cling to me when all they have is a flicker of hope. Because that flicker becomes a flame when it's surrendered to me. The world tells you to appear strong, to have it all together. But I look for honesty, not pretense. I'm drawn to the humble heart, the open hands, the soul that says, Lord, I can't, but I know you can. And I can. Oh, my child, I can. I am still the God who parts seas. Who shuts the mouths of lions. Who walks through fire. Who turns graves into gardens. The stories you read in my word are not distant memories, they are blueprints for what I still do today. So when the battles intensify and doubt whispers in the dark, don't try to fight with your own willpower. Retreat to me. Let my truth become your weapon. Let my promises be your banner. I will fight for you, and the outcome is already written, victory. Even when the outcome doesn't match your expectations, know that my outcome will always be better than what you would have chosen on your own. I don't just see your present, I hold your future. And I am weaving together a masterpiece, even from the threads you thought were broken. So take heart. Lift your head again. You are not defeated. You are being strengthened. You are not disqualified. You are being refined. I am doing something beautiful in you, and through you, that cannot be undone. Now that you've seen my strength in your weakest places, let me show you something even greater. Your story is not just for you, it is a beacon. Every step you've taken, every tear you've cried, every silent battle you've endured, it hasn't been in vain. I've been shaping something sacred in the midst of it all. What the enemy meant to use against you, I am now using as the very thing that will lift others up. You see, your testimony is more powerful than you realize. Not because it's flawless, but because it's real. Because it carries the fragrance of perseverance, the echoes of grace, and the unmistakable imprint of my hand. You didn't walk through that fire for nothing. You didn't hold on through that valley just to survive. You are being prepared to light the path for someone else who feels lost in the same dark place you once knew so well. There are hearts I will reach through your voice. There are burdens that will be lifted through your kindness. There are wounds that will begin to heal when someone hears you say, I've been there, and God brought me through. Your journey is not just personal, it's kingdom. And it will multiply far beyond what your eyes can see. You don't have to shout from stages or write books to make an impact. Sometimes, the quiet compassion of your presence in someone's storm will be the very miracle they've been praying for. Sometimes, your resilience will preach louder than any sermon. Because my light in you is not dim. It shines, even when you feel small. So don't shrink back from your story. Don't hide the broken parts. Those very pieces reveal my glory more clearly than a life that's never been tested. You are proof that beauty can rise from ashes, that peace can live in the aftermath of chaos, that joy can return after seasons of sorrow. You are living redemption. And redemption always speaks. Keep walking forward with me. Keep building with hope. Speak love. Extend grace. Live with boldness, not because you have all the answers, but because you know the one who does. And because you've met me in the secret place, others will begin to notice something different about you. A quiet fire. A deep peace. A confidence that comes not from self, but from being anchored in something unshakable. I'm not finished with you. I never was. In fact, this is just the beginning. The seeds that were sown in tears will soon bloom in joy. The prayers you whispered in solitude will become songs of praise. The burdens you've surrendered will become testimonies of freedom. So rise, not in your own might, but in my grace. Shine, not for your glory, but so others may see my love reflected through your life. You are my light-bearer. My vessel. My beloved. And the world needs what I've placed inside you. Walk with courage. Love with compassion. Speak with truth. And above all, never forget, I am with you always.